Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Well, we're in the studio. We had a little I tell you what, we've got RTA working on it, Brown Rice working on it. Everyone's working to make sure this stream comes up. I just got a phone call from Sid Bowes that said, David, we're fixing to fire the crane up, and as soon as we do, we're gonna raise the lifting mechanism up. And what they're gonna have to do now is it's going to go back up, or it's up there now. You can see they're going to lower it over, and you can see some people in there, and there's 12 stays where the window frames attach to the top of the lighthouse. And once they attach this up top, they're going to have to cut those 12 stays loose. And so we should see this come off, I'm thinking, in the next 15 minutes or so. And so, like I said, we've got RTA working to make sure the internet stays up there, monitoring stuff for us, because this is true Texas history here. This is really something special to everyone that's tied to Bolivar or grew up coming down here. And so we've made 3 live feeds now this morning. Since about 8:30 or 9, we've been live just about, other than when we're swapping out some frames and resetting everything so that we can make sure everything stays up. So you can see right now the crane's over the lighthouse. And this lighthouse, let me see if I can pull up the information again, was built in 1872. So you can see, and you can get more information on the rebuild of this and a lot of information on the lighthouse. You can click the link on the feed. Down there, we've got BolivarPointLighthouse.org, where you can go read about it. You can also donate, whether it's 50 cents, $1, $100, $500. Maybe you have a business that can help with this, whether it's a mat business or a paint business or a structural business. But if you want to get involved, please get hold of the Point Bolivar Lighthouse and let them know, hey, we want to get involved with this. If y'all need anything, let us know. So I'm actually watching this on Bolivar Live TV, on my weather TV here in the office. We're streaming to you. We're going a lot of remote now, and want to thank everyone that's worked with us on this, getting at this to where we can do this, because we can give you a lot more coverage. In fact, I was just looking at one of the beach cams we're in the process of getting put up too, to make sure everything's working just right. But they have the crane up. The crane is attaching to the top of the lighthouse now. And if you're down here, you still have time to get down to Fort Travis. It's a great place to view from. With all the rain we had, there in front of the lighthouse is probably pretty muddy. And so with the elevation of Fort Travis, we have the Bolivar Live event trailer up there. In fact, want to thank the Texas Crab Festival. They let us pull out from the festival about 2 hours early yesterday so that we could get it down here. The guys came in from RTA and helped me set it up. We had to make some final adjustments this morning. And so I want to thank everyone that's involved with this so that we can give you this coverage. In fact, when Amy called me about 5 weeks ago, and said, hey, this is what's taking place. We're letting you know we can't do a press release yet, but we started the ball rolling on getting people involved so that we could give you the coverage and see this piece of history take place here on Bolivar Peninsula. I'm not going to touch anything because everything's working perfect. We're also recording this, and we're also doing a time lapse on this. And so when it's all said and done, we'll have some pretty neat footage that we'll be able to put out and show you on how this took place. Now, this isn't going to be a quick turnaround. You know, today they're lifting off the top. I don't know if they're going to go back and get the bottom portion lifted off today or when that's going to take place. But we'll be in contact with them to find out what the next step is. In fact, we're going to try and run down there after they make this lift, and we'll be able to broadcast from down there if we need to. But it's just a matter of time now. It looks like they have it connected up top. And McMillan Home Movers is the one taking care of all this, and they've actually built a structure inside and clamped it to the top portion of the lighthouse. They had to tote all this metal up those stairs to get it up there and then build it. And this has taken several weeks. They've worked on this. And so it's been a long process. Actually, probably 2 years ago, they started all this. And Amy's really taken the bull by the horn, or the lighthouse by the light, I guess you could say, over the last 2 years, fundraising and getting awareness out on what needs to be done. And it was getting to the point now where a lot was falling off it. Every time the wind blew, they lost a portion of the metal up there. And so it was, for a safety factor, they had to get it down, and they've done it as quick as possible. And so as you can see, the crane is attached. The crane got here about 9 o'clock, 9:30 this morning. And they've been working on the rigging and getting everything set up since, going over the final details. It looks like they're hooking all the straps and everything up now. And I don't know what the weight of this is. I was really surprised. The crane didn't seem as big as what I thought, but I don't think it's a weight issue. It's a height issue. And if I'm not mistaken, the Bolivar Lighthouse is 119 feet tall. And so you can see the guys up there barely climbing around, getting everything hooked up. And like I said, once it's all hooked up, then they'll start cutting. There's 12 stays up there. When I was talking to Sid, I asked him what's the steps that they're going to take to do this. And he said once the crane's hooked up, then they have to cut the 12 stays loose. And then once they do that, then they can raise it up. They'll have a little bit of pressure on it while they're cutting those stays loose. And I haven't seen them doing anything like that. It looks like they're still checking everything, making sure everything's connected, and they've got some tension on it probably. I've got a couple pictures I took with the drone straight down, and that's actually a brass top up there, and that is going to be replaced. In fact, when they lower this, it's going to go on a trailer, and they're going to build it so that they can take it places and actually showcase it, like at the Crab Festival or any of the events down here. And so once they get everything taken care of, it's going to be pretty neat what they're going to be able to do with this and take a piece of the lighthouse with it. I showed you, let me see if I can pull up pictures. This is what the inside of the lighthouse looks like, where they've taken some brick out, and you can see the widow's walk there around the outside. That's that walkway around the outside that's in such bad shape, along with the top part. And so you can see the wood sitting there where they've, I guess at one time maybe a door was there or something. But they've had to remove some of these bricks because they've had to build structure inside to actually hold everything in place once they take it loose, and so that everything stays in place and is actually held in place. So anyway, but for those of you that are just joining us, we're live, we're remote. We've got the Bolivar Live trailer down at Fort Travis, and we're giving you live coverage of the top of the lighthouse is coming off today. They just got the crane up. In fact, they've been working since probably about 9:30 or 10, getting the crane set up, making sure everything's just perfect for this historic lift from the top of the Bolivar Lighthouse. So I'm going to turn some music on, and if I get any more information, please stay tuned and watch this piece of history happening here on the Upper Texas Coast Bolivar Peninsula. Remember, for more information or to watch this during the week, once we're done here today, we're going to keep it up, and we'll be doing live streams back to back. We may be down for 5 minutes or so, but then we'll come back up the rest of today, letting you see what's going on down there. You can see it on our YouTube at youtube.com/@BolivarLive, the @ sign, and Bolivar Live, or you can catch it on our Bolivar Live TV on Roku, Amazon Fire, and now you can find it on our website. We've got a link on the front page, and right now I'm actually watching it off that. You go to the BolivarPeninsulaTexas.com, go to the front page, click the link, go to the page, and hit the live. And the banner on the left are our weekly shows that we swap out daily. As shows change, we put new shows up. And then the banner on the right is actually our live feeds as they're playing. That's what I'm watching on my 55-inch in the office right now, making sure everything's working good. And then down below that are all the advertisers on in their shows. So if you've had a show a couple weeks ago or a month ago, you can actually go back and see the shows, whether it's a insurance show with Priest, a Stingray show, maybe a real estate show. We do one of those every day at 11, every Monday at 11. And this week, though, all the advertisers are, if need be, are going to be all about the lighthouse and what's going on at the Bolivar Lighthouse. So we're happy to be working with them and with the Bolivar Lighthouse Foundation to show you a piece of this Texas history. So if you're in the area, the best place to see all this taking place is actually up at Fort Travis. You can go up, it's elevated, and look down on the lighthouse, or across, I should say. We're actually about 20 feet, we're actually about 37 feet above sea level, maybe 40 feet above sea level is where the camera is. And so that's a straight out view. You can see what's happening and see what the view would be like for you. Especially with the phones nowadays and telephoto lenses, you can zoom in pretty good. In fact, I was there this morning when we were putting the final touches on the webcam, getting it up, and I took my camera and zoomed in, my Canon video camera, and zoomed in on the top because I wanted a picture, and then brought it out, zoomed out. I wanted one of the last video clips. Excuse me, it was a long weekend. Boy, the Texas Crab Festival. I want to thank everyone, too, that came out to the Texas Crab Festival. We had a great turnout, except for the rain, and we all know that happened Saturday night. Just as everyone was starting to show up, the downpours came, and want to thank everyone that came out Sunday and all the volunteers, because it was hot, it was muggy, and then the rain came back again Sunday afternoon. But one lucky winner did go home with the golf cart. In fact, Tom was calling him whenever I was getting ready to pull the trailer out, and trying to give him notification that he had won the golf cart there. So, once again, like I said, I want to thank everyone that came out, all the sponsors that donated time and money and product to the Texas Crab Festival. It was a great year, and we can't wait to see it again next year. And it's every Mother's Day weekend here on the Upper Texas Coast Bolivar Peninsula. So anyway, we're going to stick around a little bit and see what's going on, and might see some sparks. It looks like maybe they're down cutting off some of the stage right now. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit and see if we can zoom in and see exactly what's going on up there. I don't want to get uh, out of the frame or anything, but let's see. We'll go in some more and see if we can. You can see how the crane's hooked to the top of the lighthouse there. Looks like they've got some tension on it and bringing it up. Zooming in as much as we can without losing. We needed the camera up about another 40 feet to be able to get the best view, but we did what we could, what we had to work for. So once again, thanks to Texas Crab Festival for letting us pull the trailer out a little bit early yesterday so that we could get it set up at Fort Travis. Want to thank RTA for working with us on getting this feed so that we could live stream this today and let you see what's going on. So you're watching this, you may be in California, New Mexico, New York, but you're seeing a little bit of Texas history happening here on Bolivar Peninsula. And this lighthouse, once again, was built, I believe, in 1872. And so it's weathered all the storms and more. Looks like I saw a flash. Maybe they're cutting the stays loose now. Looks like one gentleman up there cutting the stays loose. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we don't lose track of anything when they go to lowering this down. We didn't lose sound. I'm just watching what I'm doing, making sure that we've got everything in frame. I'm about out of iced tea. I hope they get this done pretty soon. It's lunchtime. You know, they've been working on this, like I said earlier, for probably about 3 weeks, just building 3 or 4 weeks building the structure to get be able to get all this done. And they've had, I don't know how many breakfast meetings they've had at La Plata. They're eating breakfast, going over everything they're going to do that day and figuring out what they have to do because they actually had to they're having to build stuff on the inside too to hold everything in place and hold it true while the tops, and it may be a year or two before the top goes back on. And hopefully Bolivar Live will be here to bring that to you too. So Okay, I just got word from Amy that they are cutting the stays loose up on the top. So the crane is attached to the top, and there's 12 bars that come down. That's part of the frame system, window frames, I believe. And that's what they're cutting loose. Once those are cut loose, they've got some tension on it now. And once those are cut loose, then they'll be able to raise it up as needed a little bit. And you can see they don't have a whole lot of room there. Uh, the lighthouse, if I'm not mistaken, is about 119 feet tall. And so you can see some people, some of the board members, probably and workers walking around there by the gate. And once it's cut loose, then I'm sure they're going to bring it, lift it up a little bit, bring it back, and set it down there. I'm sure it'll be in between the houses is where they'll set it. So it's just a matter of time. So don't leave us. And if any of your friends want to watch this, they can watch it on YouTube. Just go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/at Bolivar Live. You can also see it on our Bolivar Live TV on Roku, Amazon Fire, and now you can see it on our website, Bolivar Live TV. So, for more information on the Bolivar Lighthouse, some of the history, photos, information on donations, and what their plans are, please visit their website at bolivarpointlighthouse.org. You can get a lot of information there and stay up to date on what steps they're in. This is the first step, is taking the top off, and the next step will actually be the lower section there. I don't know if they're going to have to go below the Widow's Walk around the outside. In fact, I was showing you a photo earlier. I'll pull it up real quick, and there you can see what it looks like from the inside out, looking out. You can see the Widow's Walk there that's rusted, and they may have to go below that, and that's something they said once they get the top off, then they're going to have to, and they might have made the decision already. But while I'm thinking about it, look at that barge going back behind it. Just imagine the view from up there. So, but anyway, that's what the inside looks like. It's brick wrapped in metal, and with the salt down here. Once this is completed, it's actually going to be painted back black and white like it was before. And so we're excited about that. Excited about this first step they're taking too, in the rebuild process. So anyway, we're just waiting for everything to get cut loose, where they can make the final lift, swing it around, and bring it down there between the two houses. So their plans are, and the top may be off for a year or two. They don't really have a time frame on that. It was more about getting the top off for safety reasons than anything. So you can see a couple people up there working. They're cutting cutting the stays loose now, so that they'll be able to make that final lift. And we've been streaming on and off since about 9 o'clock, 9:30 maybe. We've streamed a little bit, and then we've stopped for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll stream some more for another half hour. Actually, we're going on 31 minutes right now. So we're testing everything, making sure, actually 33 minutes on my broadcaster shows. So we're monitoring everything. I want to thank RTA for coming down yesterday, helping us get this set up. They were in here right before we started this feed because of the situation where we wanted to be able to catch the lifting it off and lowering it down. They were checking everything. I've been in contact with my host that host all the cameras we have down here, and letting them know, hey, if you may need to turn the bandwidth up. because we may have quite a few viewers, and we have so far on the website, the event cam, and on our Bolivar Live TV. I've been watching some of the numbers that we're getting. I slid down in my chair. So, anyway, want to thank the Lighthouse Foundation for giving me this opportunity to be able to stream this, letting us know in advance so that we can make plans. This whole operation, they've been working on this for years now, and especially the last about 4 weeks building structure. They had to tote, I forget how many pounds of steel. Sid was telling me they had to tote up the stairs, and something says there was 120 or 220 stairs you have to go up to get to the top. So doubt I'm going to be up there. They'd have to have a cardiac machine for me or a crane to get me down, probably. But I can just imagine what the view's like. We've done some drone video up there and around it and straight down years ago, and here over the last 6 months we've done some stuff. But it's really the view from up there is just unbelievable what you can see. And to think that this thing's weathered all the big hurricanes, the 1900 storm, 1915 storm, Ike. In fact, in the earlier storms, it actually saved some lives from people that took refuge in the lighthouse. So even though it washed the oil tanks away, they were still able to take refuge in there. And they said at one point in one of the storms, I was reading on their website earlier, that the top of it swayed 12 inches one side to the other, and they had winds clocked at one storm of 126 mile an hour there. So I can just imagine what it was like and the sound as that wind went around that metal object sticking 119 feet up in the air. I would have hated to been in the storm, one, and two, encased in brick and metal. But I get they were safe and they survived. So, um, anyway, we're just waiting for them to make that final lift and take the top off the Bolivar Lighthouse.